With perhaps the most famous maître d' in the country, Fred Sirieix. Fred, good to see you.
How are you? Thank you for having me on.
Well, it's great. It's a great treat to have you on. So I just want to explore this paradox. It wasn't very long ago that pubs and restaurants were saying, completely understandably, that they were struggling to keep afloat because of the crisis of COVID and being locked down. And now they're saying they can't get the staff. So explain what's going on.
Well, what's happened, we've had the double whammy of Brexit and COVID. And so what happened is 40 to 50% of the workforce actually comes from the European Union. Because of Brexit, a lot of people left or haven't come here. And as a result of COVID, a lot of people have also gone home. Now, what's happened also in the last few years, there has been a decline in investment in professional in professional education. So when I started working with the education system, we had in this country about 280 catering colleges. Now, depending on how you actually count a catering college, we have something like 120 to 170. And to this day, you cannot actually have any figures as to how many people go into catering college every year, how many people come out of catering college, how many people are in employment within 5 years, or let's say 3 years of leaving the college. So that we are in a situation where people have left the industry, but we are not also looking and producing after our own talent in this country. So it's very important that we urgently and radically review this in order to produce our own talent in catering colleges so that the industry can actually find the workforce that it needs.
Fred, I want to talk to you not only about the issues just raised, but also about your very important charity, which works in prisons on all of this. Don't go away, because he's got really fascinating things to say about all of that after the break, and we'll also be going back and talking with Caroline and David as well. Now I'm going back to talk with Fred. Fred, I read a fascinating piece that you wrote in The Big Issue about the work you do in prisons, actually trying to train up prisoners to work in restaurants and pubs and the hospitality industry. Tell me a bit about that.
Well, it's a very simple charity. So basically what we do, we go in prison and we transform the staff mess into a fully functioning restaurant run by the prisoners for the benefit of the staff. And the prisoners not only cook, but they also run the front of house, they make coffee, and they get trained on the job in the kitchen and also in front of house and behind the bar making the coffee, and they gain qualifications so that upon release, they can gain employment. As you know, in terms of reoffending rates are about 40 to 50% and up to 80% for some of the offences. But there are three barriers for stopping reoffending. It's people having a job, where people live, and also whether they stay in contact with their friends and family. But the first hurdle actually is getting a job. But you cannot get a job if you haven't been trained.
So can I ask you on that? You probably noticed that Tim Martin, who founded Wetherspoons, big Brexiter, despite the fact that he was a big Brexiter, he's now complaining he can't get people from the EU to come and work in his pubs. Do you want him to contact you, and you can supply him with perhaps some trained-up former prisoners?
Well, look, I mean, we've met the prison minister, Alex Chalk, a few days ago, and we've explained to him what we are doing. We put a proposal to him. We are ready to go. I don't think we will be ready to go in all the prisons in the UK. You know, there are about 120 prisons in the UK, and not all of them will be suitable, but surely 50 to 60 prisons, I'm sure, will be suitable, whether they are women's prison or men's prison or youth offending institutions.
Just finally, because we're almost out of time, I think your daughter is taking part in the Olympics for Team GB. How disappointed would she be if it was cancelled?
Well, you know, she has worked very hard, and I think it was a saving grace in lockdown because she has been able to train. So, in fact, her life hasn't changed as much as other people. You know, she is fully focused and working so hard on her training and going to school. So that's been amazing for her, but she would be hugely disappointed if she wasn't able to go.
Well, listen, send her out, all our best wishes for the Olympics, and come back soon.
Thank you.